Hello and welcome to day 3 of Pompom Ohmm's videos showing you how we are making our creations. Tonight's hopefully will be a bit quicker than the last two. Basically I'm going to show you a wreath for a new baby. So this could be for their door, or it could be to celebrate a new baby. I'm going to keep it simple, but I am going to show you a couple of different options. Okay, so to just start us off, right, we've got all white pom-poms. This is my preference, to have all white pom-poms going around in a ring. Of course, that's my preference, so this is why we are design your own. You could choose to have all grey. You could choose to have all of a colour, any colour really, blue, pink, green, yellow, whatever. Or you can choose to have alternate colours with a white breaking it up. It's entirely up to you really. That's why we are design your own. So I've decided that on this particular one, I'm actually going to keep it all white. So I've already placed my poms where I'm going to want them. So all I'm going to do is place my wreath back on top of the poms rather than underneath it. Okay, and then all I'm doing is, like you've probably seen on the last video, I'm just tying them into place. So again, I don't intend to trim this video or particularly edit it that much, because I kind of want it to be in real time for people to be able to sort of make along really. I'm just going to put that slightly, there we are, further down. So yeah, so let me just show you, in case you haven't seen the last one, how I'm attaching these. So I like to take them outside, so both sides outside of the whole wireframe, and then I put them back through the middle of the wireframe, so not the middle of the ring but the middle of the two metal spokes, and I just wrap them round and just create a loop, and that is basically so that you're anchoring that pom into the middle of the wreath. Okay, and as I said before, like they're only on as tight as your second knot, so make sure you are, when you tie that first knot, you are holding it in place till the second knot goes down, because otherwise they won't be very tight in place, and if they are loose, we can fix it at a later date, but it does help if they're kind of roughly where you already want them to be. So I'm just going to work my way around now, tying them on as we go. As I said, just going inside, outside, and creating those two loops so that it's anchored into place. Okay, and again, inside, outside. Okay, so just keep going all of the way around. Okay, tying knots as you go. Okay. Yeah, quite often you end up with other random colours on your poms, and you can just easily pull them off. It's just because they've been against another colour in the bag. So yes, you're tying knots as you go round. Okay. These usually take about 12 poms to go round. But we'll just see what it looks like. It might need a few more, a few less. We'll just see. We've got 9 on there so far, so this is number 10. Okay, so I have lost the end of my... Oh, there we are, found it. Okay, so just keep going. Okay, right, I've got one more to go on there. So we got 3, 6, 9. Yeah, 10. I'm gonna just reach down and grab another one. Now I've mixed up this bag and I've got some sparkly and some not, so make sure it's a sparkly white. You're unlikely to be able to see the sparkle again, but they are on there, and you'll see them in real life. Again, we do have plain white as well if you don't want sparkles. Okay. I should say the sparkles are not glitter. They're actually woven into the wool, so they're not going to come off and go everywhere around your house like glitter would. So, you know, it's quite a nice way to add a bit of sparkle without adding that glitter on there. Okay, so last one going on there. Okay, right, so we've now at this point got all of our white poms going around in a single circle. So now all we're going to do is turn it over and sort out all of these ends. So same as on the previous video, but if you didn't see it, we don't trim straight off, just in case they come loose and you want to retie them, or you want to take them off for a reason. We just tie them. We tie one next to its partner, basically, before we then trim it off, and it just means that you've got neat ends, but you've still got a little bit of wool there if you need to mess with it for any reason. So we just tie one next to its partner there. So you're just tying them in pairs, really, and then trimming them off. Okay. So, yep. As always, tying on the pom-poms is the quickest part. That's taken us just under 10 minutes. It's always the adding the extra bits that takes the time, really. But I am hoping this is quite a simple one, that this won't take us much longer than half an hour, really. The last two we did were quite long, lengthy projects. So we're hoping tonight will be quite a quick one, really. Hopefully. That's what you're going to get, is a nice quick one, but you never know. You know, and if you're making this at home as a make-at-home kit, it could take you longer, you could be even quicker. It'll just literally depend. Right, so there we go. We've got, our front hasn't changed, although they are a bit neater in the ring. Our back, however, now has no scraggly bits. Obviously, wreaths, generally, you're going to put them up against the wall, so we can kind of forgive ourselves for having this copper. However, if you're really offended by it on this one, because we're actually going to tie these on, they'll come in a bit further and you will be able to see less of that copper. The last two we've done, we've we've glued on, we haven't tied on, which is not what we usually do actually, but they've just had loads of embellishments on, so it made sense. Right, at this point I'm actually going to show you all the variations that we could do to this. So the one that we're actually doing, I've got this giant blue pom. Now I've deliberately left it not, I don't know if you can see that, but it's not round. It's longer than it is wide, and I've done that deliberately because I'm going to just nestle it in there as if it's our little pom baby. Okay, and then I'm gonna put these little MDF feet. I mean, I've got these off a seller on Etsy, which I'll add who they were to the comments, but they're just handmade shapes basically, but they are MDF. So if you are making your own and you like doing pyrography, which is the art of burning into wood, you can burn your own name on there or whatever. If you're not into pyrography, you don't have the kit for that. You can do what I'm going to do, which is just draw it on with a Sharpie. I do offer them and will offer them with pyrography that I've done on them, but it can be your choice. Sharpie, pyrography. Again, you can also put them so that your baby's lying on its back, or you can put them so that your baby's lying on its front. The aim is that we're pretending this pom is kind of nestled in there, sitting there like a baby. And what we're going to do on this particular one is we're just going to write the name, baby's name, and the date they were born. If we can always fit on there the weight, if that's important to you, so just let us know, basically. But there's loads of variations to this. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of blue for a boy, pink for a girl. I do believe that any colour is for any person, rather than it being gender specific. However, yeah, we've got the blue baby, we'll call it. Your alternatives would be, for a start, you could have a smaller pom. You don't have to have a massive pom, okay? And also, if you don't know what baby's going to be yet, that's fine. You can put a grey baby, and we have got smaller feet to match the size of the pom, so you can put your little baby's feet. Again, either way, up, totally your choice. Or like we showed you before, you could have grey as the outside, and your baby could actually be another white pom. Okay, I've got some others. I mean, again, we're not going to call it a girl, but I've got a bright pink pom that you could put on there, again with your feet on. I've got a shimmery, glittery pink, like light pink, that you could use, again putting your feet on there. This is a medium-sized pom. We can do an oversized pom as well. I've got a bright blue there. As an alternative, this is my husband coming in. And disappearing again before he gets caught on camera. So I've got a bright blue, and you can, again, your feet can go wherever. Obviously, those are the obvious colour choices. I've also, you can have a tiny little small pom that can go in there, and we have got tiny little feet. So if you're just doing, you don't know what or when baby's going to be, you can just do a little tiny baby there. Baby pom, let's call it, not just a baby. And again, upside down, right way up, it's your choice. Last but not least, I have got two different styles of a rainbow pom. Now, not everyone knows this as really, but sometimes couples will refer to a baby that is born shortly after the loss of another child, their rainbow baby. So obviously we've got rainbow baby choices. You've got your multi rainbow pom, which obviously you can put on there with the medium-sized feet. Or we have got a single pom that has got a rainbow in effect all the way round. So we can put it on there so that it looks like it's going red to violet. And again, we can put your little MDF feet on there for your rainbow baby. Obviously, this is not just for a baby that's a blessing at the end of a rainbow. I did a very gender neutral room as a nursery, and it was actually rainbow coloured. So I would have had just a rainbow without it having any particular meaning. But I know that it will mean different to different people. So there we go. That's the rainbow ones. But let's go back to what we are actually planning to do, which is to put our giant blue baby in there. Okay, so just to show you how we quickly tie off the wreaths so that we basically aren't using the glue gun when we don't need to use the glue gun. I'm just going to quickly get some wool down off here that we're going to use to tie our wreaths with. So obviously it's just the same, it's just the sparkly white. If you were to order this as a make at home kit, then we would provide you with the extra wool that you needed. If you're just doing this yourself, then great, just use another ball of wool, or the same ball of wool if you don't use it on your poms. So here we are, we've just got our ball of wool, right? And all we're going to do now is we're just going to bring our wool underneath our pom. You don't need a huge amount, but do cut off more than you think you need. So you're going to bring it round so it's underneath your pom, and you're basically pulling it onto your wreath. You're going to again anchor it into place, so you're going to go through the wreath, out the other side, again through between the two parallel metal, and out the other side. And this time you're going to pull really quite tight, and you're going to do your 2 knots. The tighter you pull, the further in your pom will come. So the more offended you are by the copper wire showing on the back, the tighter you can pull. With us doing all white here, I would put something so that you can remember where the last one you tied was. Just because it can get a little bit confusing. So I'm just going to put little tiny blue. It's not staying, so it doesn't matter, but I'm just putting a bit of blue on the last one that I did. You'll always know because you've got tails sticking out and you've already cut the other tails off. So again, just a nice long piece of wool. You'll get used to how long you need to make them. You know, how long you need to cut them. But just, you know, experiment. So you're going to pull it really tight again. Okay. Really tight, and then you're just gonna... The reason I was checking the front then was because if you can still see your wool, you haven't pulled it tight enough. Okay. So yeah, so just 2 knots again. Okay. And then you're just going to keep going, basically. Keep going until you have tied all of your poms really tightly back onto your wreath. You don't have to do this step, but it does really make sure your poms are where you want them to be without having to use you know, any glue at all really on them, because we're only gonna use glue to stick on the feet. We're gonna tie on the pom baby, if that's what we're calling it. We're going to tie on the pom baby, so we're not even going to glue that on. So this one very much is a low glue low glue project, which is, that's what I like really, because you don't want the glue gun glue absolutely everywhere. When you're looping them through, just kind of pull the loop back a bit, because otherwise it goes towards the end and actually it's not doing the job it should be doing, because it's not catching as much of the wool as it should be. So you kind of want it in the middle of your pom. So yeah, tie off your knots there. Okay. Just keep going basically. As I said before, it's not as long a job as some of the ones we've done, but if you're making this at home, you're gonna want to take your time. You're gonna want to make it look as nice as you possibly can. I suppose the joy of ordering this as a home kit is if you don't quite know what baby is, what gender baby is going to be, or the name. Maybe you're waiting for them to tell you the name. Then you can order a kit to do at home. You can make the basic wreath, and you can then do most of it and just put the Pom baby on right at the end. Once you know, or if you've chosen grey, you could just put the feet on and just write their name on and wait on at the very end. You could, if you just, when you order, put a note on it that you don't know gender of baby yet. That's fine, because you can order a blue and a pink if we're going for gender specifics. If we're not, just pick whatever. You can order more than one Pom baby, and you can then attach it when you do know. You do know. And also, if you wanted to order for us to make it, and you don't know yet the name or the baby, or that's fine. You can pre-order. Let us know roughly when it'll be for, and let us know that you will tell us once baby is here what requirements you need. What colour do you need, and of Pom baby, and name or weight or whatever really, because obviously if you tell us what colour you want the outside of the wreath to be, we can make a start on it before you let us know. But if we know roughly when you're going to need it, we can get them done usually within, well, to be honest, probably within a couple of days, probably not even that. So yeah, so just let us know really. And if you know that the baby's bedroom is going to be a specific colour and you think this might suit going on the door or in the room, again, we can do whatever colour. It really is, design your own here. So whatever you pick, you can literally have any colour Pom baby that you wish. Oh dear, I started coughing. Hopefully this will stop. It's probably just wool. Husband keeps calling it knitter's lung. I'm not sure what it actually is. By the way, I don't knit, never have. Don't know how. I had to go once making a scarf, but it took too long. I like things to be instant. Right, so there we are. We've pulled tight our last Pom. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to just turn it over again, and we're going to just check, because this can sometimes happen, that when you fluff your Poms, that you cannot see any of the strings where you've tied it tight. We've done pretty well there, but to be honest, we're using the same colour on the same colour. It's more important if you're using a completely different colour pom and you're trying to tie it off with a white string. You want to check it, you're not going to see it through it, basically. Anyway, very quickly again, same as what we did before, we've got loose ends again, so we're literally just going to tie them off. It's a bit time consuming, but it is a good neat way of finishing them off. Okay, so how long? So that's taken us 25 minutes, so, you know, hoping to keep this within sort of the half an hour. Might take slightly longer, but hoping. It's more like half an hour rather than more like an hour like the others have been. So there we go. We are obviously we are trying to do a video a day just for our week that we open, but we are hoping to upload a week or go live even possibly once a week after this week, just so that we can keep showing you really what we've been making, but without you getting bored of my face or my voice, because you can't see my face most of the time. Yeah, so without you getting bored of us, we are going to try and do this once a week. Yeah, I always seem to end up with one extra, so I'm just going to cut that one off there. Yeah, so every time you put this down on the desk, you'll find that they flatten out. So I've got a habit of fluffing them up every time, just so I can see what I'm working with. So there you go. There is your white wreath all the way around. Okay, single row of poms. There's a 10 to 12 on there. There's 11 on this one, but we aim to put 10 to 12 on there. Okay, so we're going with this massive pom baby. Okay, and we're just gonna, we don't want it right in the middle. We want it so that it's sort of lying in to one side, and we're actually going to tie it on. So we're going to make sure it goes through. This is where I was talking about. If you trap any of the white with the blue, you will be able to see it. So we want to pull it so that we just can't see any of that blue thread. And then we're gonna do our usual. We're gonna anchor it through by going through the wreath and out the other side. Okay, and we're gonna find a place to do that at the top as well. So we've done that at the bottom of the ring and the middle of the ring. I don't mean the top. I mean either side of our parallel lines. Right. We're gonna pull this as tight as we can, really, because we want that pom baby to be in the right place. Again, make sure you can leave that on for now, because we're going to get the same colour blue, and we're going to do the same as what we did with the white, and we're just going to anchor it into place. So I've not found the end of my wool. Right, there we are. Yeah, so just nice length, cut it off. And then you're going to go over the top of pom baby, and you're going to pull really tight, okay? And this time, fluff as you go, so that you make sure you're not making a weird indent in the top of this pom baby. I'm going to keep calling it that because I don't know what else to call it. Again, you're going to anchor it in, so you're going to go through and out the other side. There we go. Okay, so we've pulled that one especially tight, so we know that it's in the right place. We're gonna again do knots. Okay. Yeah. And then, like I said, you left this one so that you can attach it to that one. Okay, so we've got our two strings. We're going to tie them together. Again, always a double knot, because it will come undone if it isn't. Okay, so there we are. And if we are offended by the ends, we can tuck those under. But you can end up with a very relatively neat back to this wreath. So here we go. We've got a big pom as our little pom baby there. Okay, and then we're gonna add in here our little pom baby's feet. Now I'm gonna do it so that the feet are, the heels are on the blue, and the toes are just poking over the white, as if the baby's kind of whoosh. Okay, I'm going to stick these on, but I'm going to put a fake name on here. If it was ordered, it'd be simple enough for me to just clip it off the wall and put a different pair of feet on. So that isn't an issue, really. Okay, so I'm just going to, for this example, I am just going to use a Sharpie. But, as I said, I can do pyrography, and I happily will. Which is just etching the name in with a tool that burns the wool. But as I said, for the purpose of this demonstration, if you will, I'm just gonna use a Sharpie. I think I'm going for. Yes, I am. I'm going for the baby lying on its tummy with its feet sticking out downwards, so down like that. Okay, and I can do different types of text, but we're just going to keep it simple for this. So we're going to call this baby. we need an easy name that isn't. Right, we're gonna call this baby Lewis Carroll. I can't promise I'm going to spell it right, but okay, so do you know what, I've done a fairly poor attempt at that. I'm going to turn it around and try again. If you're doing this as a make at home kit, we might send you more than one pair, because actually you need to make sure you're going to get the name on there correctly. So I'm wondering whether it wouldn't be better to arch your writing rather than have it coming downwards. Arch your writing around the kind of the balls of the feet. So I think that's what I'm gonna. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try, and I'm only gonna do it on the one foot. So I'm actually gonna do it on the bottom foot here. I told you I wouldn't spell it right, and I haven't. And also, I've gone for the name, the forename at the front and the surname at the back, and then that leaves the other foot spare for us to do anything that we need to. So we will say that baby was today, which is the 8th, I think. I'm not sure. So we're just going to say it was the 8th. What month are we in? Of the 8th. 2021. And we're going to say baby was very big. We're going to say baby was 10 pounds 2 ounces. Okay, so again, this will be much nicer if we burn this on. This will also be nicer if we, if we actually choose a font that you like, and we can put that on there. So here we are. So we're just going to stick our baby's feet. So the heels are on the pom and the toes are at the bottom. Okay. Yeah. So for that, we need the glue gun, which, as ever, is not heating. I might get this by day 7. It's not heating yet, and I'm very impatient waiting for it. So yeah, watch this space. So yeah, we're just going to go with our toes here. You could obviously do it that way up. The writing would need to be the other way up, but you could do it that way up. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to put it on a bit of an angle because otherwise it doesn't quite look like the baby's crawling through. So yeah, put it there. Whilst we're waiting though for the glue to heat, we're going to make a hanging loop. Now you might not need one if you're just going to hang it straight from the metal, but you might need one, so we'll just show you. So you're going to take a long stretch of wool, you're going to take it end to end and keep overlapping until you've got 8 strings of wool. Now I've miscounted, I think. Let's just, sorry. Yeah, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. I haven't done the last 8. Okay, and then you're gonna chop it off here, fold it over so that you've got a loop at one end and you've got the rest of your knots at the other. Obviously, you're going to choose to hang it at the opposite end. Okay, so you're just going to turn over your wreath. We are going to pick, I mean, here I've picked one where it's already got a post. Yours might not have a post there. It might just be, it's probably a coincidence that I have, to be honest, because it wasn't planned. But if you do have a post there, then I would suggest you, sorry, I've come loose with me threads. Right, yes, so I would suggest that you put one side of the post and the other bit of wool the other side. So like when you're anchoring them into place, you're just going to pull it through the wire. Okay, and again I'm going the other side of the post, but it's exactly the same. Bring them both together, and then you are going to pull your loop all the way through your knot, and make sure you've got the scraggly end pointing down, the good end pointing up, and pull as tight as you can. And then just, we always do 2 knots basically. So again, another knot. And this time I'm going to show you how we do it when we don't use copious amounts of glue. Okay, so here you have got a load of loops that you didn't cut through deliberately. You're going to take another piece of wool and you're going to go through each of those loops. If they're all in one place, great. If they're not, just gather each loop. So you've got your wool through all the loops at the end of that. Then you're going to go around the opposite side. So you've tied it to this side, you're now going to go on to this side, and you're going to basically just tie a knot, and all you're doing is trapping all of those ends down onto the wool where they're not going to be noticed and they're going to stay where they need to stay. So tie that second knot, chop that off, double check that none of your ends look particularly scraggly, which they won't, they'll just match what you've already done. Okay, and then that's basically, that is your hanging loop there. Okay, really quite simple to do. So we're just gonna stick our feet on. Like I said, I'm gonna do it so that they kind of looks like baby's dived through the middle. Okay, so let's see if our glue gun's heated, because I'm very impatient. So just not enough glue in the glue gun. That's rule 1 broken there. Right, so more glue in the glue gun. We're just going to put the glue on the back of the MDF. Obviously, watch your fingers, because hot glue kind of hurts. You can put the glue straight onto the wool if you prefer. However, these feet are quite nice and big, so you should be able to get them on without burning yourself. So you're going to poke your toes in there and then you're going to press down, and make sure you hold on to that ball of wool. So you've got your hand at the back and you're pressing at the front, because otherwise it's just going to dive through. Okay, so there you are. So now we've got our little baby that's kind of crawled through the middle. Okay, we can readjust it if it has gone, if it's dived far too far full. You can just adjust it there. And once you've got the glue gun out, if you're struggling to get it in the right place, you can just put a bit of glue on there and, you know, put it back into the right place. So that basically, that is our well, one of our new baby wreaths. As I said, you can use different sizes, you can make it a lot more subtle. It doesn't have to look like a giant baby's crawled through a loop. You can do it a lot of different ways. So we are design your own, you pick basically, and let us know your preference on our order form. So I'm just going to hang this on the loop like I usually do, just so that you can see it up on the wall. Again, we don't trim these before we attach them, just because, to be honest, it's a waste of time really, unless you're really wanting it perfect. You know, but you can trim them afterwards, you see, so you don't need to waste a huge amount of time of trimming them individually. Anyway, I'm gonna just get up and go and put this on our usual hook. Okay, I'm covered in fluff. So yeah, I'm gonna go and put it on the usual hook, and then I'm gonna take the camera, a bit of, you know, dodgy filming now, to show you this on its hook again. Okay, so yeah, there we go. All right, so let's take the camera and show you this wreath. As I said, a bit of dodgy camera work now as we go round. So here we go. Right, obviously our hanging hook's quite high. You could put yours lower on the door. Yeah, so that's basically what we're aiming for. But again, you choose the size of the pom and so on. Okay, let's go back to the desk. Right, okay, so again, you can just see that hanging on the door in the background. Yeah, so that's the end of this video number 3. Check back in tomorrow and see what we're doing. If it's getting a bit repetitive, give it a rest. We're just trying to get these up so that we've got some videos of examples to show you. So yeah, hopefully see you again. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye now.